Hey everyone, it's Kara. So today I'm filming a video about why I've been gone from YouTube for so long. I'm sitting on my bed, so this is like very I don't know where else to sit in this room, so I'm sitting on the edge of my bed. This is going to be a very difficult video for me to film. I don't even know how to start this, so we're just going to jump right in. So one of my last videos that I put up was a Sephora haul, and I filmed that video and put it up last year. I filmed that video on April 12th, and I put it on YouTube on April 13th last year. And I put it up on April 13th last year in the morning. I'm really going to try not to cry during this video, because this is, once you hear why I've been gone from YouTube, you will understand why. This is a very emotional video for me to film. April 13th last year, after I put up the video, my boyfriend had taken the day off of work. We were building a new shed in our backyard. He's a very handy man, so he was doing it himself. We'd gone the night before to Lowe's to go get concrete, wood, whatever supplies he needed. We had tons of stuff in our garage. I'm sorry, while I'm sitting here saying this, my mind keeps flashing back to last year. I'm sorry. This is really hard for me. Oh, God. So after I filmed that, or put up that video in the morning, we had lunch. Everything was normal. He went to Home Depot to go rent a tool that he needed. He came back. He went back outside. I went upstairs to go watch YouTube for a little bit. Then I was going to take a shower because we had plans to go out to dinner that night. I'd watched one YouTube video, went to go check on him, see if he needed a drink or anything. And when I looked out the window in our bedroom, I saw him lying on the ground. I didn't think anything of it. I figured, hey, he's just lying down. He needed a break for a minute. Of course, there was a little bit of panic in me, but I didn't think too much of it. So I ran outside, and I go over to him, try to say, hey, do you need a drink or anything? He's not responding. Of course, when that happens, all kinds of panic starts going through your mind, and you're praying to God that whatever you're thinking in your head is not true. Of course, that was the initial thought that went into my head. Is I'm sitting here on the ground next to my dead boyfriend. And like I said, I was praying like hell that that was not true. I continued to try to wake him up. I can't wake him up. So I run back inside, grab my phone, and this is what trips me up. For the life of me, I could not figure out how to turn on my phone. I have an iPhone, so, I mean, most people know how to use an iPhone. In that moment, I could not figure out how to work my phone. It took me a few minutes to figure that out. And then, also for the life of me, I could not figure out what the number was for 911. I completely blanked on it. I'm like, what the hell is this number? So, eventually I come to my senses. I figure out how to work my phone, figure out the number, call 911, explain the situation. They send ambulance, fire truck, police, all of this stuff comes to my house. God, this is really difficult for me. They work on him for a while. Once his family gets there, they eventually have to make the call. Then my boyfriend died last year in our backyard. And I had to be the one to find him. Now let me say that he was older than me. So I knew dating him, I knew it was in the back of my mind that this could be something that I would eventually have to deal with. Honestly, I didn't think it would be like that soon into our relationship. We've been together for 4.5 years. This past December would have been our 5-year anniversary. So like I said, he died in April, so we were like at the 4.5 year mark. I knew going into this relationship that it was something that I should be expecting, but like I said, it was not something I was expecting for years down the road. He had no health issues. He wasn't on any medication. There was nothing wrong with him. He never went to the doctor. So, I mean, this probably could have been avoided if he went to the doctor, but he's stubborn like I am and refused to go to the doctor. I refuse to go to the doctor. I can't say anything. Like I said, I'm very stubborn, so I get where he is coming from that. He always said he didn't want to be like sick and in a hospital and like have people having to take care of him. He was not that kind of person. He wants to take care of other people, not have other people take care of him. So like I said, this probably could have been avoided if he went to the doctor, but he didn't. And like I said, I don't, so I can't say this. I can't argue with it. So like I said, to nobody's knowledge in the family, there was nothing wrong. So he died very suddenly, very unexpectedly. I called his family that day when the paramedics got there and explained the situation, and they were basically like, what the hell are you talking about? Because like I said, you're not expecting it. No one expects to get that phone call. You're never prepared for that phone call. Having to be the one to do all this stuff with the paramedics and stuff, I was not prepared to do all of this. I had no idea how to do CPR. I did do CPR. The lady on the, when I called 911, she had to sit there and explain it to me. I've never done CPR before. My mom's a nurse, but I've never been put in a situation where I had to do CPR. I was never trained to do CPR. So, like I said, he died last year. His funeral was the next Friday, so a week later was his funeral. The day that I'm filming this is April 12th, so tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary, which I cannot believe it's been a year. I cannot believe. In my mind, it seems like that the situation was yesterday, and at the same time it feels like it was another lifetime ago. Like, I don't know how to explain it. So the 1-year anniversary is tomorrow. His family has treated me very badly during this whole situation. I mean, they basically treated me like I didn't ever exist in his life. They don't talk to me. They didn't listen to me when we were planning the funeral arrangements. I told him that he had told me that he wanted to be cremated, which they did. They already knew that. They knew he wanted to be cremated. He had a specific urn that he wanted, which was one that was made out of like sand or something, and you throw it in the ocean and then it dissolves. He had specifically told me this. I told them that at the funeral home. They refused to listen to me. So, as you can already understand, grieving, being a grieving girlfriend, and then having the family not listen to you is incredibly frustrating and makes me so angry. When someone's cremated, you can get jewelry or whatever made. So I got a thumbprint necklace made. It's just a necklace. It has his thumbprint on it. You would think this would be a simple thing. The family has it. They refuse to give it to me, which again makes me very angry. And I know it's a necklace, like it's not the end of the world, but I feel like this is the last bit I have of him, which is why I want it so badly, and it makes me so angry that they won't give it to me. So, because I don't have the necklace right now, I went on Etsy and made my own. It's this little bar necklace. It says, "I love you," in his handwriting on this side. That's his handwriting. I took it from a card he gave me. I took a picture of the handwriting, scanned it in, sent it to this person on Etsy. So it says, "I love you," on this side. And then on this side, it has his signature. So, this is what I have for myself in place of the thumbprint necklace. I also went to Alex and Ani and bought myself a little bracelet. So this is the Guardian Angel bracelet. This is going to focus. There we go. So like I said, this is the Guardian Angel bracelet. I wear both of these every day. He also gave me a couple Build-A-Bears while we were together. One of the last ones he gave me was in February, at the end of February, so I had that one for like a month or so before he died. So, I mean, for a while I didn't think about going to Build-A-Bear and making something. So in September, when I moved in here, which I'll get to that in a minute, I ordered a Build-A-Bear. This is the Build-A-Bear I made. It has an NC State t-shirt. He was a big NC State fan, so hence the t-shirt. And then on this foot, it has his initials, TLN. It says 12/7/13. That's the day we started dating, which was December 7th, 2013. And then it says, "I love you." So this is a Build-A-Bear I made for him. I sleep with this every night. You can make fun of me if you want to, I don't care. So that's what I did for now to memorialize him. I don't have part of the urn. His family has that. Let's see. Like I said, his family treated me like crap pretty much since the moment he died. So the day after the funeral, I go back to my house, check the mail, because I didn't stay there during all of this. I was staying with my twin sister. I didn't want to be alone at that house. So she had gone back to work. I go back to my house, check the mail, because obviously I hadn't been there in a week. And I get a letter saying that from a lawyer, from his family, saying that I have X amount of days to get out. And if I don't get out, then everything's going to be shut. This was because he had a will that was written out, which I told him to do, but he never went to the bank to get it notarized. So everything that was supposed to be left to me was no longer left to me, which was including the house, the cars, his motorcycle. I think it was some of the stuff in the bank accounts. Like I said, this is a very like traumatic experience. I really don't remember all that was supposed to be left to me. And he had made this will maybe like a week or two before he died. So it was, he didn't have very much time to get it notarized, which, I mean, obviously looking back, I should have been more insistent about getting it to get notarized. But like I said, no one sees these things coming, so you're not really prepared for it. So I had to move out of my house that we had bought together, which was very frustrating and irritating. And then when I was in the process of doing that, they took my car, which there was a backstory of my car. I had a Jetta that I'd bought with my money. There was one day where he left my car key in his car, and he always left his car unlocked. So we went to bed that night, got up the next day, and my Jetta was gone. Spent like a week looking for it, couldn't find it. Called the police, they were looking for it, couldn't find it. So he bought me another car. There was a loan taken out on this car, obviously to pay for it. So because the loan was in his name, the car was in his name. So when he died, he was still making payments on this car. The family took the car because it's no longer in my name, or it was not in my name. So I had no car while I'm trying to move out of this house, which, let me tell you, is really fucking frustrating. I'm sorry for cussing a lot in this video. I cuss a lot in like normal life, but I try to be very like together when I film these videos. But this video makes me very sad, angry, frustrated. There's a million different emotions going on in my head right now. So I'm trying to be very like real and transparent with you guys. I really want to explain what has been going on with my life, because I haven't really had a lot of people to talk to about this. So like I said, while I'm trying to move, my car is gone. I move in with my sister. She has a 1-bedroom apartment. Her lease is not up until September. So like I said, this is in April. So I spend 6 months sleeping on her couch. My family did not offer me a place to stay, which is ridiculous because my older sister has a huge house with tons of room. Let me backtrack a little bit. I kept this relationship very private, and that's because I've only had this relationship and one other relationship. So the relationship before, my family treated me very awful during that relationship. They did not approve of the guy. That's a whole another story. There are rumors going on about me during that past relationship. So there's a whole number of reasons why I kept this relationship very private. My twin sister knew about it. My older sister eventually found out about it. It's just me and it's me, my older sister, actually older sister, me, and twin sister. So it's just the three of us. So my two sisters knew about this relationship. My mom, my dad, my stepmom, my stepdad, none of them knew about this relationship. And like I said, pretty much my mom and my stepdad were complete assholes to me during my first relationship. So, which is why I chose to keep this relationship very private. And I've come to figure out over the years that if you just keep your relationship private and keep most of the outside world out of it, you have a lot less problems. I mean, do what you want to do. If you want to share your relationship with the world, go ahead. But my personal experience, I like to keep things... I can be a very open person, but there's certain things that I'm not very open about. And my relationship and getting judged and ridiculed and whatever the hell is not something that I want to deal with anymore. I'm 30 years old, so if you got something to say about who I date, why I date, the age difference, I'm an adult. You can go screw yourself. So, during the funeral, like I said, my mom, not knowing that we were together, shows up. Actually, she showed up during the visitation and not the funeral. So the visitation was the night before, and then the funeral. So my mom shows up to the visitation. So I have to keep it together, act like we're not dating, because she still doesn't know yet. She finds out eventually, and the way they found out was not how I wanted them to find out. I was just not going to say anything. I was just like, he's gone, there's no point in bringing it up, because, like I said, my last relationship, World War III happened, so I was like, there's no point in bringing this up now. So like I said, she shows up to the visitation. I have to keep it together, which is very hard to do when you're standing in line to greet people. Which she thought I was standing in line because I'm a very close, I was very close to the family. And she knew that. I've known this family for years, since I was 18, and I'm 30 now. So 12 years I've known this family. So she thought I was just standing in line because I was a very close family friend. She knew I had a close relationship with him. She didn't know how close, obviously, at that point. So she knew I was very upset. So she understood why I was standing in line. She didn't know the exact reason why I was standing in the line to get greeted by everybody. So like I said, while she's there, I have to keep my shit together, which is very difficult when you're standing right next to the casket. And to be honest with you, standing at that casket, looking at them before everybody got there, and after everybody left, I have never in my life wanted so bad to climb into a casket with somebody. Normally death, caskets, like that whole thing freaks me the F out. Like, I'm completely, like, terrified. Like, I've been to several funerals, and, like, it freaks me out to, like, be near a dead body. Yeah, that whole thing just freaks me out. And I can't deal with it. So the fact that I'm sitting here saying that I wanted to climb in that casket with you, I don't know. I really love this man, and his death has completely shattered me. So, like I said, I'm moving with my sister to her apartment for 6 months. We end up getting this place in September. We move in here. Let me think. What else happened? Oh, in May, like a month or so after he died, my friend called me up and said I was getting life insurance money. And she told me that when she found this out, obviously the rest of the family was there, and they were absolutely livid that they found out that I was getting this money. So I think that's part of the reason why they don't like me now anymore, is because they did not know that I was on the life insurance. Now please let me preface this and say I did not ask him to put me on the life insurance. He did that on his own. He came home from work one day and told me that I was on the life insurance, which that was years ago, so I'd completely forgotten about this. So when I got that phone call that I was on the life insurance, granted, I hate the situation that I'm put in, that my boyfriend is gone and I don't have him here anymore. But the fact that I got that phone call and said that I was on the life insurance, you cannot imagine how relieved I was in that moment. Because I did not have a job. I had nowhere to go except for my sister's house. I had no money to pay for a car. My car was gone. So I was completely over the moon, thrilled, ecstatic to be getting this phone call that said I had life insurance money. So I do all the paperwork, get the life insurance money. I go out and buy a car. I bought a 2018 Jeep Renegade. So that's completely paid for and in my name now. So if this ever happens again, which I'm really praying it does not, but this is in the back of my head now, that whatever relationship I get into now in the future, that this is going to be a thing. Which I know sounds completely crazy, and I know that I sound completely crazy, but this is in the back of my head now, that this is going to happen again. So if this does happen again, my car is in my name. And he was planning on paying for that car and switching it to my name. It's just, he was still making payments on it, so it had to be in his name. Trying to think, is there anything else I need to share? You would think for as long as I've been talking that I would remember what I've said, and I haven't. I cannot remember what I've said and what I haven't. I think I've covered everything. I'll have to rewatch this and edit. There may be a part 2 if I've left anything out. So, as you can imagine, this has been a very difficult year for me. I've not been handling it the best, and I know that. People tell me all the time that I need to go to grief counseling. Which, to be honest with you, if someone suggests that to me again, I really just want to slap the shit out of them. Because no one tells you how hard this is. No one in my family has had a very close death like this that's unexpected. My sister still has her husband, my mom still has her husband, my dad still has his wife. So nobody can really relate to me, which is super frustrating when all you want to do is talk about it. And no one knows how to relate to me, so I feel like they avoid me. My best friend will try to talk to me about it. Not saying I'm not appreciative of it, of her trying to talk about it, but she's married, she's got 2 kids, she doesn't get it. Like, if you've been through this, or something similar like this, where you've had somebody close to you die and no one else has experienced this, you will know what I'm talking about. I can honestly say that if this was my parents or my sisters who died, yes, I would grieve for them, but it's a completely different version of grief that you would have for those people versus somebody you're in love with, somebody you share all your secrets to. Which, this is the other thing that gets me, is he's the first and only person I've ever been able to be completely open with. I'm very open with my twin sister, obviously. I pretty much tell her everything, but there's just certain things that I don't tell her that you would tell a significant other. So, yes, me and my twin sister are close, but like I said, there's certain things that you just don't share with your sister versus a lover. So he knew me inside and out, darkest secrets that I would never share with anyone, ever. Like, he knew those, and I knew those about him. He told me stuff that he had never told another soul. I told him stuff that I've never told another soul. I probably won't ever tell another soul. Maybe I might, but for me to open up to somebody, you really have to show to me and prove to me that you actually care. Because I've been screwed over so many times in my life, so I don't want to open up and share all these, like, personal details of my life with you if you're going to turn around and, like, fuck me over. So I'm very, like, I can be very open once I get to know you and trust you, but until then I'm a very, like, closed off private person. So for me to open up and share some really big secrets with him, and for him to share those with me, and then for him to be completely taken away from me randomly, unexpectedly, like, that's a hard thing to accept and deal with. Like I said, the year anniversary is tomorrow. I'm still struggling. I've got a grief journal. I've been reading books about grief. Grief is hard. It's really fucking hard, and I'm not gonna try to sugarcoat it. Yeah, no one tells you how hard this is. In a way, and some people might get mad at me for saying this, I kind of feel like a widow. We were not legally married. I have no legal rights to anything. I understand that. But to be in a committed relationship with someone for that long, to share your life with someone for that long, we had a house, we got a dog together. I mean, we spent 24/7 together from the moment that we started dating. So, like, in a way, I kind of feel like we were married. I said it all the time, he said it all the time. We felt like we were married. So, like, in that perspective, yes, I kind of feel like I'm a widow. Like I said, no, I know legally I'm not. But I feel like I can kind of relate to an actual widow. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I need to say before I cut this off? This is a lot to get out, and I'm sorry for being, like, so open with you guys. Like, I want to be open and transparent with you, but like I said, I've had no one to talk about this with, and this is very hard for me to open up like this. One of my biggest fears is dating someone new. I'm kind of scared that no one's going to want to date me now. Especially when, I mean, it's not going to be long after I mean, I'm not dating anyone now, and I probably won't be for a while because no one's ever interested in me. When I eventually get to that point, and you know, you go on a couple dates, you're still introducing yourselves, and you give your background. You eventually get to the question like, so what's your past relationships been like? Eventually this is going to come up. And I'm so terrified out of my mind. That no one's going to want to date me because of this. It's like I said, I'm 30 years old. I was 29 when he died. I turned 30 in August, so I'll be 31 this year. Most people don't go through this until a lot later in life. So I'm really scared that no one's going to want to date me again. And then if someone does date me again, like I've already said, I'm terrified out of my mind that this is going to happen again. Which sounds completely crazy and insane, and I know that. This is really hard. This is really, really hard. Having to adjust to getting back to a life without him is hard. We were in a routine of like when we did stuff, I still, in the back of my mind, that's still there. I still have the urge to pick up the phone and call him. Like, just because someone dies doesn't mean that those things go away immediately. It's gonna take time. I keep a picture of him beside my nightstand. Oh, God. Alright, I think I need to wrap this up because my camera is about to die. Because I've literally talked the battery off. Alright, so I think I've covered everything. If you want to know more details, ask in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them, or I can do a part 2 if I think of anything else. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the transparency and the openness of this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye everyone.